Hey everyone, it's Oridan here and Billy. Main event Mike, we're back here for another week where we discuss the beautiful world of professional wrestling, where we've had a very stacked week of wrestling. We've seen Monday Night Raw, the very final time that the people of Monday Night Raw will see John Cena in Madison Square Garden. We will also be talking about AEW Full Gear, which will be taking place this Saturday, and giving our predictions and thoughts ahead for that as well. So yeah, Billy, how's your week been so far?
Been all good. Been all good. Good Raw.
Yeah.
Solid Raw. It's best Raw of the year. Would we say so?
Possibly. I think it's
Mm.
definitely up there as one of the best Raws. I think the thing with Monday Night Raw is that I always think it's been the more consistent show from WWE on a week to week basis, where it's usually
Yeah.
good. It's usually good to great. There might be some times where it gets a little bit padded or boring because they have to continue on like long term stories, like what they did with the Vision with Seth Rollins, or just other
Yeah.
things. There are some filler things like the treatment of the Raw Tag Team division, which has gotten better with Styles and Dragon Lee being part of the champions now, and hopefully it gives itself life. But yeah, this was a very eventful Monday Night Raw, of course, because of the last ever time that we will see John Cena on a episode of Monday Night Raw wrestling. Yeah, he has 2 dates left.
Well, we hope. We hope.
Well, yeah, we hope. We just hope that he doesn't get a certain payment from a certain country in
Yeah.
2027 to to do something. And if they can drag Shawn Michaels out of retirement to do, in my opinion, one of the worst ways to continue
Yeah.
on the WrestleMania 25, 26, 27, 28 saga and bring it back. Just stay retired. Just do movies, my G. Don't please. Like once this is done, yeah, you could.
Yep.
I could see him come back for, let's say, for example, like
A
to
run in or something.
run in or just attend. The attendance tonight was da 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 or something like that. But
Yeah.
not to wrestle, please. We don't, please, no. But
Yeah.
yeah, just to kind of start off, we had, of course, they showed a video package of last week's Raw where John Cena beat Dominic Mysterio for the Intercontinental Champion. He is now a Grand Slam champion. And John Cena came out to a pretty packed house. It was literally the crowd were chanting for Cena. They were saying, "Thank you, Cena." They were doing everything. I think if you were in that arena and as we're entering into the final dates, he literally has 2 dates left. There is an appreciation for what he has done for WWE, for what
Yeah.
he's been able to carry for the company, uh, what he's been done to be the flagship guy for them. Has there been times when they probably pushed him a little bit too much? Yes, but there is of course an appreciation for John Cena. Do you agree as well, Billy?
There is. And we've reached a stage where the booking doesn't really matter now in
Yeah,
terms of Cena. We
yeah,
just enjoy the moment. We both agree this retirement tour has been underwhelming
yeah, yeah.
to a certain extent, but that don't matter now. We just gotta live in the moment,
Mhm.
appreciate what he's done, and then when it's over, you can go back to saying, yeah, this has been underwhelming.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I think we've said this before. I think once they did the heel turn at Elimination Chamber, which is going to be a WTF moment for WWE, it's
Yeah,
almost like what do we do after that? And unfortunately, it didn't live up to the expectations. That's why I feel like it was very underwhelming. And I think the second half we've had a lot of good matches. If you the match with AJ Styles, Logan Paul, and even bringing him with the IC title has made it a little bit more watchable and enjoyable as well. So I will say that to an
yeah,
extent. And then we got Dominic Mysterio coming out with his AAA Mega Championship, pretty much confirming he wants a rematch with John Cena. John Cena, being the babyface that he is, wanted to do it on the last ever Monday Night Raw on Madison Square Garden, but Dominic said no. He wants to do it in his own home turf in San Diego at Survivor Series, and that is where we're going to get the rematch, which I think will be good. And from there, we got Finn Balor, JD McDonough coming out to beat up John Cena, and then we had Sheamus and Rey Mysterio to come in, and that set it up a 6-man tag, which I didn't really have a problem with them making it a 6-man tag. I had a feeling that they would have made it a tag team match based on what we saw last week when
yeah.
Cena and Rey Mysterio were talking and stuff like that. So I had sensed that the last match that we got to Cena would be a tag match. I don't really have a problem with it. Did you? I don't think you had a problem with it as
Yeah.
well.
No, it was. You also had to fit Sheamus in there some way because I don't think
Yeah,
Sheamus is going to win the tournament,
I
and
don't know.
Sheamus is the only John Cena rival we've not seen
Yeah,
this whole tour with him.
yeah,
So it was good to get Sheamus in there.
yeah.
Cena and Mysterio, I found the other day, they never had a one-on-one pay-per-view match, which is crazy.
I remember they've did they wrestle early on in SmackDown? I remember when he did a promo on Rey Mysterio when he was doing the rapper gimmick, and then if you forward it to
Yeah,
2011 when Ray won the championship, and then Cena wins it
yeah.
less than 2 hours, and then they just bring yeah 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 it's yeah.
But yeah, it was good to it's good to get Mysterio and but more importantly Sheamus in there.
Yeah, it was. From that, we had a six-man tag with Cena, Sheamus, and Rey Mysterio versus the Judgment Day. And it was a good match. It was a lot of fun. It was just an enjoyment. Just the crowd were really invested. The babyface team was doing everything together, especially the final slot where you saw them all doing the five knuckle shuffle, and even Sheamus moving Cena to the middle. It was a nice touch as well.
Mm.
And yeah, this is it. This is the last time we're gonna see Cena on Monday Night Raw. They were both celebrating with each other. They were even looking behind the stage as well, just taking everything in that this is going to be the last time that we see John Cena on Monday Night Raw. And then the next time we are going to see him is defending the IC Championship against Dominic Mysterio at Survivor Series. And then whoever wins the My Time Is Now tournament at Saturday Night Main Event.
Yeah, yeah. Two more of Cena, and then that's curtains.
Yep,
It's
it is.
curtains.
Then what happened next? We had Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis. They were talking. They were frustrated about the Drew McIntyre situation. I don't know why you're frustrated. You suspended the guy, but he's back. So I don't know why you're so annoyed about that. But then Paul Heyman came out with a contract just to pretty much confirm who would be the last person he would add to this team. And gee, I wonder who it's gonna be, but we will find out later on. You can see by
Curtis Axel.
imagine. Imagine. I think if people saw that, they would just be shocked, complexed, and just confused. It would be a callback,
Yeah,
but the callback that no one would have expected, and it would have been. I would have just
yeah,
laughed just for how nonsense it would have been. Then what we had next was we actually had Stephanie Becker come out, which she was supposed to have an interview, but no, Nikki Bella came out just to do a cheap attack on her. And just to confirm what I think is going to be which actually was confirmed, the match for Survivor Series. This is just a
yeah,
filler feud for Nikki Bella. This is a filler feud for Stephanie Becker, I should say, just to have. I would like it to be maybe a different opponent, but it's a filler feud for Stephanie to be on the Survivor Series card, and then just to kind of
yeah,
move on. Nikki's someone who's experienced, who's been in WWE for such a very long period of time, so I don't mind. And yeah,
yeah. It's okay. It'll be an okay match. I'm not excited
yeah,
for it. I'm not expecting much. It'll just be a War Games. Cena's match. This is in between. And there's no
yeah.
disrespect to Vaquer, but
No, it's
just
not.
it doesn't excite me.
Yeah, and with War Games, the way they do Survivor Series is they usually have four matches on the show. So they'll have two of the War Games matches, which will be the big matches, and then they'll have two matches
Yeah,
in between. So this is just gonna be how it is. But yeah, that should be fine. We had Bailey and Lara Valkyria. They were walking up, and then Asuka and Kairi Sane was there, who are the new tag team champions from last week. They were even asking Bailey to be part of their War Games match, and Bailey pretty much said she's not going to forget them attacking her 2 years ago. And so Bailey pretty much said no. Then Kyrie Sane
mm.
funnily did a "You Can't See Me" and then Oscar shouted for Kyrie. Yeah, I like both of them together, and I'm liking asking especially Kyrie Sane getting that those moments together as well on screen. I think Oscar and Kyrie are doing great.
Yeah. They Asuka's suits the heel role so perfectly at the moment.
Yeah,
She's
yeah, yeah,
she's the empress. She's the evil one, and
yeah,
Kyrie's her puppet, so to say. But Kyrie is comedy gold at the moment.
yeah. She is. I can't lie. Then we had one of the first round matches. It was Solo Sikoa versus a returning Nick Mammoth. No, I mean Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler back in WWE. I didn't know about this until later on when I did watch, and I was like, oh, okay, this is cool. Because at first I thought they would bring someone like, I don't know, a Joe Hendry because he just officially signed with WWE last week, or someone else.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dolph Ziggler's back for this spot. And the match was fine. It was cool. It was a cool little match. You could have maybe had one of those moments where this is a match where you could see a surprise where someone who is currently not in WWE win. But Solo got the
Yeah.
win. I did like how Dolph sold the Samoan spike. He made it look devastating. But this was a pretty decent match. What do you think of it?
Ziggler's ability to hit to sell is just out of this world. There was
Yeah.
one spot he done, sort of solo whipped him into the turnbuckle, and my God, the way he sold that was like he was legit, like he fooled
Yeah.
me, like he was legit hurt. And that I agree with you though. It's the only nitpick is why can't the TNA wrestler win? Like I know why it hasn't like sort of thing, but it would have been nice to see after like Ryder lost to LA
Mhm.
Knight. It would have been
Mhm.
a good little a shock moment to be like Ziggler's won. Now is who's he going to fight next week, rather than just a one and done sort of thing.
Yeah, I think because this was clearly a one appearance, same with what they did with Zack Ryder last week, which was also cool to see him there. But it would have made Solo, like, compared to what they made Solo earlier this year when he was literally the opening match with Roman Reigns and Netflix to now. And that's also another issue with the whole MFT group. They just want to keep the guys strong for the next round. I do believe we
I
have
feel like
like, no, you go on.
they could have they could have got out of it though. They could have had Sammy like interfere and Ziggler wins on a roll up,
Possibly, yeah, you could have done that.
and then it progresses the Solo and Sammy story that not many people care about at the moment, really.
Yeah, I think
So
yeah, you could have done so. You could have done that. To be fair, I wouldn't be mad by that option to kind of give Dolph the win. I'm just not really like annoyed or mad about it because it was cool to see Dolph in a WWE ring again. It is
yeah,
funny that he's a different stage name in TNA and he has to come back with his WWE stage name here. But yeah, it was cool to see Dolph Ziggler. He got a good reaction. So Solo advances to the next stage. So yeah.
yes,
Then we had Alexa Bliss come out. So this was so this is coming after SmackDown, where it was all done for drama. They're trying to create things for the women's War Games match where Charlotte doesn't trust Rhea Ripley because of their history, their background. So she pretty much said, "I'm out." So Alexa Bliss was pretty much just calling out Charlotte and everything, but this kind of eluded the heel team to come out and try to beat up Alexa Bliss. But then you saw the rest of the babyface team come out with Rhea Ripley, Io Sky. Then you had Lash Legend come out, who has probably one of the most devastating forearm
oh
smashes
my
ever.
God,
Like,
yeah,
just it's good to see that she's here with them, and I hope as time goes on they kind of book her strong because that I think
yeah,
it is a good thing to have someone like Lash Legend in SmackDown right now. My problem is, and I will always say this, how you book them and how you make them feel
yeah,
credible. So I think for what they've done so far, they've done a decent job with that as well. Then they had Charlotte come out, and it was kind of just a way to kind of say that Charlotte still is with the babyface team despite her issues. Kind of wish you could have maybe kept this going for maybe a week or two before War Games
yeah,
because it was pretty obvious that Charlotte was going to be part of the babyface team. It's just, of course, they were trying to build some part of the story of does Charlotte really want to be part of this team because of her lack of trust for someone like a Rhea Ripley, who's a former person she's feuded with. But
yeah,
but yeah, I didn't mind this. This was, of course, to build more drama for the women's War Games match, which you could argue needed something, especially after what they did with the
yeah,
men's at the end. But yeah, what did you think of it?
yeah. I agree with everything you said. It probably should have gone a bit more than 3 days.
Yeah.
It'd been nice to see like a lead up of the more attention. The thing is with this as well is with Charlotte Flair,
Mm.
there's not that much history with Rhea. They had
Yeah.
two matches, which were like they weren't. It weren't really a feud. It was like oh, this is two matches. You had a great match at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
You had a competitive feud, not really a blood feud.
Yeah.
Charlotte Flair teamed with Becky Lynch 2 years ago in War Games. That's more of a blood feud than
Yeah, yeah, that
Rhea Ripley. So
yeah,
but I know they want to add tension or some stake to the women's game. They, they, yeah, they could have gone about it a bit longer. They've done it here.
mm.
Alexa's promo was actually really good, actually.
Yeah, it was a good promo. Yeah,
She was actually really good on the mic. I feel like we forget how good Alexa is on the mic sometimes as well. Back to 2018 days when she was the women's champ.
Yeah. I think back in 2018, she was definitely, and still now, I think she's still one of the best on the mic, especially with the women's side of the wrestlers and the roster. I just think at the time she was fine in the ring, but I think she's more experienced and everything here. And
Yeah,
I think, like I said this year, I think Charlotte and Alexa Bliss made sense because Charlotte was coming back with an injury. No one really wanted to kind of cheer Charlotte straight away until the situations that we knew behind the scenes became more apparent and how the Tiffany
yeah,
Strand feud went. But ever since Bliss and Charlotte have been a team, it's probably been one of the best things they've done as of now, especially with Charlotte coming back from injury. You don't want it to be a thing where she's coming back from a very serious injury and she's going straight into singles matches. Tag team wrestling has actually benefited
yeah,
her a bit. It was the same thing with Randy Orton and Matt Riddle. Like at the time, and
yes,
Randy had a serious injury, but you didn't want him to work a very serious style. You had Matt Riddle be the cover guy so that Randy can do the hot tag. It's very similar with Charlotte to an
yeah,
extent, but it's added more for her as well.
yeah. Had layers to her character, 100%.
Yeah. Then next, so they pretty much confirmed the matches of Stephanie Becker versus Nikki Bella and John Cena versus Dominic Mysterio for Survivor Series. And then we had Becky Lynch defending the IC Championship against Maxine Dupree in a series of matches which I think have been pretty good. And I think I have to give a big shout out and praise to Becky Lynch because she has done
Yeah,
everything possible to put Maxine Dupree over, put over this storyline. If it's promos, if it's backstage segments, if it's screaming on Instagram about certain things, it's just she's done everything possible to kind of make this feel like something, especially with the IC Championship. I think Becky's been one of the women wrestlers of WWE this year. It'll be tough to
yeah,
say who is because you have someone like Becky Lynch of what she's done with the IC title. You have Io Sky for the in-ring ability. You have Stephanie Becker, who's
yeah.
someone who's a standout as well. But uh, but she's definitely had it here this year as well. And the match itself, it was a good match for as long as it went. Um, Kind of went to the similar style of how Becky and Maxine Dupree kind of went with their previous matches, and it led towards what was a big moment when AJ Lee returned. She has not been seen since WrestlePalooza, caused the distraction and allowed Maxine Dupree to hit a crossbody block onto Lynch for the near fall, and Maxine Dupree is the new Intercontinental Champion. What did you think of this match, Billy?
I did not see this coming.
I
Did
didn't as
not
well.
see this coming at all, and it was a pleasant surprise.
It was, yeah,
It was booked perfectly.
yeah, it was,
This
yeah,
this is one of the moments when Triple H got it right. Everything about this feud, the
yeah,
built, the weight. It wasn't a rush of okay next week. It was a build up of training.
yeah,
There was a lot of transitions in the matches where you could see her training's been paid off.
yeah.
And it was a feel good moment. It was a really good feel good
Yeah,
moment for Maxine. Do I think it's gonna be a long reign? No.
probably not.
I think she'll drop it. Maybe it's like a
She'll
an
probably
Ivy Nile.
she'll probably drop
It's
it quicker than
it's
she'll drop it quicker than Tame Paxley in NXT.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, that's a different subject. But what was I gonna say? It's good to have the mid card title back in the mid card, if that makes
Yeah,
sense. With with Becky Lynch, she's a main eventer holding the
yeah,
mid card title,
yeah,
and I feel like you have the main title, you have the mid card
yeah,
with Becky, and then there's everything else not on her level.
yeah,
So it's very hard to book around. But now you could book the mid card title. You can have
mm,
Bailey comes to the fold. You can
yeah.
have Ivy Nile. Is Zoe Stark back soon? Maybe
I think she's still injured. That was a
she's
very
still
serious.
injured.
It was a very serious injury. So speedy recovery, of
Was
course.
it this year she got injured?
It was this year. I forgot. I don't know if it was
Oh,
in the
okay.
summer or the spring. So, but it was a very serious injury because it was on a Monday Night Raw when she had that injury.
But yeah, you can give it to. So I hope there's a mid card there for the IC title. It's not like SmackDown when there's about four women.
Mhm.
There's legs on the Raw division. So yeah, good match, perfectly. AJ's finally back,
Yeah.
and then it sets up you know what for later on in the show.
Yeah, I agree. Also, shout out to Maxine Dupree because There was a time, I think last year, when she was getting heavily bullied by wrestling fans by saying that she couldn't wrestle and
Yeah,
everything. People in within WWE showed her the support, and I think she's done a really good job to show the improvements. And
yeah,
also, it takes two to tango, especially when you're inside the ring. And I think she's done her bit. Becky's done her bit to kind of put her over and to give her this moment.
yeah,
So massive congratulations for Maxine Dupree, who we didn't expect
yeah,
an IC title reign, but it shows the quality of where if you build a feud right, you can actually make people feel like this is a fulfilled moment. That's why I
yeah,
wish they can echo this, especially on SmackDown with the United States Championship, which I hope gets the treatment because
yeah,
allegedly you're adding another hour to SmackDown. Hopefully, with that 1 hour, you can make people invested. But that's just another story for another time if we ever decide to review SmackDown. But
Mhm.
overall, yeah, I really enjoyed this moment. Good for Maxine
Yeah,
Dupree, and yeah, the new IC champion. Hopefully, you have a nice run because WWE. If you're a babyface and you have a title, I doubt you're gonna have it for too long. But hopefully, it's a good moment overall. And then next we had Siobhan Evans facing Walter. That was not good. That was
Mhm.
Walter who came out. Gunther came back after 3 months off, and he came back to his OG NXT UK theme song, which I knew the vibes already. This like I think Gunther's like we know where Gunther's gonna go. And I feel like there is only
yeah,
one way you can book Gunther as a champion, or just a champion or a wrestler in general. But yeah, this was a really competitive match with Yvonne Evans, who I think has also had a very strong breakout year in WWE
yeah,
as well, especially in NXT, especially the match with Leon Slater and TNA as well, and other things as well. So this was just a good back and forth matches that had a lot of fun, but it also showed the dominance that Gunther is going to have. This is going to be a Gunther that is
yeah,
going to be no nonsense to everything. You did have your moments where Javon was countering and trying to go for near falls and counters, but it was Gunther back in business and Gunther who I think is probably going to go all the way and potentially retire another wrestler. What do you think, Billy?
yeah. At first, I thought it was a face turn when I heard
Hmm.
his music. I thought, is Gunther going to be a face?
Yeah.
And then he started chopping, and I was like, nah, he's a heel. He's
Hmm.
a heel. He is the heel in WWE now,
Hmm.
I feel. It was a good match. It was a good opponent. Javon Evans is so advanced for his age, and he
Yeah.
just is. The timing of everything. I remember, was it sometime last year when him and Randy had a
Yeah.
match, and he like timed the RKO wrong,
Just a little, yeah.
or Randy. And he's since then he's just upped his game so much.
Yeah.
He for me is the one who WrestleMania weekend he should be NXT champ.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
I think
But
that's
with
that's
this
kind of cool.
match, yeah, he's like a young Kofi Kingston, isn't he? Like that's how I like describe him. Similar in the ring,
Mm.
young Kofi Kingston. But yeah, this match was good. Gumph,
Yeah.
it's good to have Gunther back in it. It's just
Yeah.
he is a main event role. But yeah, and then come for advance. I agree with you. I think he will he'll be the one to retire Cena.
Yeah, I think
So
that
yeah,
that's the match that I'm penciling. I think it's Gunther Cena.
yeah,
So, but yeah, I think this was probably my favorite match of the show. I was excited for
yeah,
this match because I know what Javon Evans can bring as well. I think he's been slowly the breakout wrestler, and I think he's been in a few appearances. He's wrestled against Sami Zayn. He's had incredible matches like the match with Obafemi and Trick Williams back at Stand and Deliver. And he's definitely someone for the future. And there's been rumors, this is just, of course, rumors, that John Cena is very high on him as well, behind the scenes. And there's other people that are as well. And hopefully, once he gets the opportunity to become NXT champion, and then after he has his NXT title run, he moves up to the main roster, you
yeah.
get to see what you can do with him down the line. I've also got a bit of a question also to ask because this is coming from an episode which I saw from Wrestling's podcast, which who they just celebrated their 300th episode. So congratulations to those guys.
Just then, yep,
They made a point about how is being a champion in WWE being considered by, for example, their age. So, for example, you have CM Punk, who's the world champion. He's in his 40s. I think Cody is potentially in his 40s as well. And it kind of feels
Yeah,
like, should WWE just utilize the wrestlers that they have? Like, let's say, for example, a Braun Breaker or a Bronson Reed. I think Bronson Reed's maybe in his late 30s, but like Reed, who's in his 20s. And then
yeah,
you have all these other wrestlers who, let's say, are young, and you could utilize them to be champion before waiting until their age. You could even argue that through the year that Dominic Mysterio has had, you could make a good shout for him to potentially be a world
yeah.
champion, especially after the run he's had with the IC title. So, do you think that WWE potentially has the issue of, let's say, an age problem?
Yes and no, maybe. I feel like the
Mm,
world title, when you put the world title on a young wrestler, it's sort of like it put like they're then in the main event.
mhm.
And can they stay in the main event level
Yeah,
throughout their career? Because
yeah,
they're going to be on top now for 20 years.
yeah,
Like Cena and Batista, when they put the titles on Cena and Batista,
yeah,
Cena and Orton, sorry, so I think Batista got the title in like his mid. They was on top for 20 years. Can
yeah,
they maintain that for 20 years? I don't mind the way WWE do it. It's a slow build. It's a
mhm,
like Bron Breaker's clearly the next one up out
yeah,
of the 20s. Like he will be the world champ soon. The problem is, can he stay on top for 20 years? So I don't think there is
mhm,
an age problem. I just think it's just a booking problem that they have.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree.
But what's your thoughts on it?
My thoughts is that I see the clash of it. It's just that you have wrestlers currently that are in that age bracket of the 30s to 40s, and you also have
Mm.
the new up and coming wrestlers who are growing, and you have like a bunch of them in NXT who hopefully down the line can go up. I think, with no disrespect to NXT right now, you can clearly see that there is more of a value on them utilizing more of their women than the men,
Yeah,
because a lot of them are developing quickly, like Tiffany Stratton taking it immediately and becoming women's champion, Rhea Ripley, and then at times was Bianca Belair. I think an example of, like you said, Cena Batista, I would even say Randy Orton. Randy Orton was the youngest world
yeah,
champion in history, and that propelled him to a position where he would have multiple world titles, up a chance in the main event, feuds with, like, say, The Undertaker, feuds with Triple H, feuds with John
yeah,
Cena, which made him legendary. Sure, you could say he's the son of a generational family, but he did the efforts he needed to kind of get to that position. I think it just leads more to the booking problem, where you need
yeah,
to find a way to book these guys strong, and why not have someone like a Dominic Mysterio down the line be a world champion, because you've shown with the IC title he can be ready. It's just that, where is
yeah,
it going to be the time to actually give him that opportunity, or even some of the young wrestlers they have. So I'm more in a space where there is a little bit of an age problem, because the world champions are always in, let's say, their 30s, 40s. I would say predominantly 40s.
yeah.
But yeah, I can kind of see that. Okay,
Obafemi,
oh my
he's
god.
that's another one.
He's a problem.
He's
He's a
he's another one where you could boost. I compare him to how Lesnar was in 2002 when they just built
yeah,
him up as like, okay, just put the belt on him,
yeah,
put the belt on him, and let's see what happens.
yeah, yeah. I would say do the exact same thing you're doing with Gunther with Obafemi. Book him strong and put a mid card belt on him. Make it a
Yeah,
long title reign, and then we'll see how things go forward. I think he's probably
yeah,
doing the last that he can do in NXT. But yeah, I agree as well. I think Obafemi's someone. He's another person. Trick Williams is another person. I kind of wish Carmelo Hayes can kind of get out of that situation as well, but we'll see what he'll do when he'll face Bronson Reed as well. But yeah.
yeah,
Okay, and then we will go towards the main event. Well, actually, the main event segment, where it was just nothing but absolute chaos. So we had the Vision, which was Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, and Logan Paul on loan. They came out pretty much making a bunch of stuff, but then after that, we had CM Punk come out, we had Jimmy Uso and Jimmy
yeah.
Uso come out, we had Cody Rhodes come out, and then they all just start beating the crap out of each other.
With before you go on, CM Punk, can you please stop leaving Cody Rhodes hanging
I was
every single time? This is twice now it's happened. Once it happened
twice.
backstage.
Oh god.
Sorry, this is 3 times it happens now. It
Three.
happened on the live event as well. Yeah. This is the third time it's happened now.
I've seen a clip on Instagram where he did that. I'm like, bro, like I understand we're in this fight thing, but like, stop making
Yeah,
people look like why do you keep? But yeah, it was just funny, but just yeah, that alone was funny. But let me see if I could describe this. So the babyface team go after all the heels in the ring. Jimmy super kicks Reed out of the ring. The fans are chanting OTC, so they sense something. Drew fought
yeah,
Cody with the floor. Logan fought with Punk in the ring while Jay and Braun fought on the floor. And then Punk hit a GTS on Logan. He's looking at the camera, and then we hear the music of the Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar, making his way into the ring. This guy looks ginormous. Lesnar has a
yeah, oh,
smile on
yeah.
his face. And then I'm seeing Lesnar and Punk in a face-off since 20.
20.
Great match, by the way. And Punk's waiting for him. Lesnar's about to go into the ring, but Punk tries to tackle him, but that does nothing. And then he hits him with 2 suplexes. Cody comes in. Then he does the same thing. It was like a face-off of their feud. One of the last feuds before
Yeah,
Brock had to disappear for certain reasons. And
yeah.
then Lesnar hit two. He the way Cody flew across
He
that ring.
Lesnar was trying to break a record.
You thought
He wanted to throw that boy.
you thought he was throwing Rey Mysterio, like the way he flew across that ring. Nah.
Yep, yep,
Yeah, he hits. Yeah. So just to continue, hits 2 German suplexes, and the second one, that one was a rough landing. It was a very rough landing for Cody. He was to catch just, you know, when you get hit, when you know you feel something, you just have to. That's how it was. And Lesnar was alone in the ring. We get the credits shown on the screen, which this guy loves. This guy loves doing this. He loves putting the credits. He loves films. He loves doing this. You think it's all over, but then you hear Roman Reigns' theme song. He comes out, goes to the ring, does a stare down with Lesnar. After Lesnar charges, Roman avoids it and
yeah,
hits a Superman punch to knock Lesnar out the ring. Great selling from Brock Lesnar, by the way. Then we had a bunch of security
yeah,
guys. The NYPD show up. What was funny was like the NYPD is trying to break
yeah.
up one thing, and then they're not realizing behind them, Punk is choking Logan Paul with a kendo stick. It was just absolute chaos. But yeah, it was just, I loved everything about this ending. It was just complete chaos. It got me more invested into what I
Yeah,
think is a very star-studded War Games match with all the people that are
yeah,
involved. And it pretty much confirms the list. We have CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, and Roman Reigns. So you are seeing your cousins before Christmas.
before Christmas. Yep,
Then the heel team of Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, Logan Paul, Drew McIntyre, and Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar is the only thing he's taking is chair shots. He's not taking a kendo stick spot. He's coming in there just to suplex people and take a few shots, and then he's done. But overall, really enjoyed the ending.
yeah, yeah. It was pure chaos, and
Yeah,
sometimes that's what wrestling needs. Just pure
yeah,
chaos. Everything's happening around the ring.
yeah,
Once it went off air, it carried on after as well. I think
yeah,
Cody cut off the barricade through a table
yeah,
on Drew,
yeah. It was,
and then Punk and Roman had a stare down, but they seemed to be on the
yeah,
same side.
yeah,
So all head to War Games. I hope there's one more brawl like this. Just carry on the chaos, and then have the reason for the cage to contain them.
yeah. I think they'll probably have the advantage match for all the
Oh
teams.
yes, yes, yes. So one of the Usos will lose
Yeah, because I mean, it makes
probably.
sense. Yeah, it makes sense because it makes sense for the heels to have the advantage in a War Games match
Yeah,
or this type of style match. So, but yeah, I think
yeah,
it definitely helps War Games. I am looking forward to the show. I still think that there is going to be a comparison compared to War Games and Blood and Guts, but I think at the end of the
yeah,
day, it's just depending on what the type of match they do compared to what the match type that AEW does. But still looking forward
yeah,
to it. Hopefully the show's good. And but yeah, overall this was a great Monday Night Raw. Definitely a Monday Night
yeah,
Raw for the ages and a Monday Night Raw that's going to be remembered in 2025.
yeah. Definitely.